The goal of this lesson is to determine the coordinates of a point of division using a given ratio, as well as the coordinates of a midpoint. The division point formula between 2 points A and B is, for the x-coordinate of the division point, you carry out x1 plus A over B times the difference between your x-coordinates, x2 minus x1. Then for the y-coordinate of the division point, it's y1 plus A over B times the change in y's. Okay, so y2 minus y1. Please note that if the line is divided 4/5 of the way along AB, we use 4/5 in the formula. But if it is divided 4/5 of the way along BA, we must either use 1/5 in the formula or assign B the coordinates x1, y1. Also, if the line is divided in a ratio of 3:2, then we use 3 over 2 plus 3, or 3 over 5 in the formula for A over B. Remember, A over B represents part to whole, not part to part. Midpoint is just a simplified version of a division point. For the x-coordinate of the midpoint, it's the average of your x values, x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and for the y-coordinate of the midpoint, it's the average of your y values, y1 plus y2 divided by 2.
Okay, in this video I just want to talk about the midpoint formula. And all the midpoint formula says, it says that the midpoint between 2 points, x sub 1 comma y sub 1 and x sub 2 comma y sub 2, it says all you do is add the x coordinates, divide by 2, add the y coordinates, and also divide by 2. In my experience, I've noticed some people sometimes forget, the signs, they'll sometimes subtract. And one way to maybe think about it is, take a kind of concrete example. Suppose you took 2 tests and you made a 50% on the first one and 100% on the second one. And I asked you, I said, well, if those are your test scores, what's your test average? Most people would say your test average is 75%. And normally when I ask them how you get it, they say, well, the average, you add the things together and you divide by the number of them. So you have 150 over 2. Or simply 75%. So, notice a midpoint is just an average of 2 things. So, if you can remember it in that context, maybe it'll help you remember that you should be adding the x-coordinates, divide by 2, adding the y-coordinates, divide by 2. So in this example, I'm just going to simply find the midpoint between these 2 points. I've got the point -5 comma -6, and then I've got the point 5 comma 8. So let me try to maybe connect those with a line if I can. So not the straightest of the lines, but a line nonetheless. So to me, intuitively, the midpoint should be, somewhere around there. So, based on my solution, at least I can even get a quick little conceptual guess about what it should be. So it simply says, again, to find the midpoint, piece of cake, all we have to do is add the x-coordinates. So maybe we can label them as well. So this will be x sub 1, this will be the point y sub 1. Again, these are kind of generic labels. It doesn't matter which one you call x1, y1, which one you call x2, y2. So it says if we add the x-coordinates, we'll get -5 plus 5 divided by 2. And then it says the midpoint for the y-coordinates will get -6 plus 8 and divide that by 2. And if we simplify that down, -5 plus 5 will be 0 divided by 2. -6 plus 8 is 2 divided by 2. And that simply reduces to the point 0, comma 1. And to me, that seems reasonable. 0, 1, hey, that would be a point right on the y-axis, so that seems correct. And notice in this case as well, things are kind of symmetric. We're at -5, we're at +5, so we're 5 units to the right of the y-axis, 5 units to the left of the y-axis. The midpoint should be, 0 units away from the y-axis, which would correspond to an x-coordinate of 0. So again, it's good to know formulas, but I think if you sketch a little picture on these two, if you're taking an exam or something like that, you can quickly verify that whether it's at least in the ballpark or not. So, alright, I hope this video makes some sense and helped you out. If you have any questions about the midpoint or any questions or comments about this video, as always, please feel free to post them. Hopefully me or somebody else can point you in the right direction.
Okay, so now we'll do it just with the formula. Okay, I copied the midpoint formula, but what we really need is a different fraction here. And this is where I said where we had the 1/4 before. The formula has the a over a plus b. The a over a plus b. So that's the full formula now. Now let's apply it to this particular ratio. So we've got the xy. So again, we've got the x coordinate here and the y coordinate here. So in this case, a is 1 and b is 3. So let's copy this directly, and we'll get 1 over 1 plus 3. The x2 is 20. The x1 is 4. The x1 is 4. Okay, so that's our x coordinate. And now the y is the 1 over 1 plus 3. And then the y2 is 17. The y1 is 5. And we add it back to the y1. So that's plugging in the formula. Now let's make sure our arithmetic is correct. So this becomes 1/4. In the bracket we have 16. And then we add back the 4. And for the y coordinate, it's the same thing, 1/4. 17 minus 5 is 12, plus 5. These numbers should get familiar from the other example. Order of operations, say we do the multiplication first, so this becomes 4 plus 4. The other coordinate, 1/4 of 12 is 3, so it becomes 3 plus 5. So our coordinates become 8, 8, which is what we had in the example. Oops, you can't quite see that one. And too far. And we get the 8, 8. So that's how the part-to-part